Basics of literature review. Literature review. It is a survey of scholarly sources on a specific topic. It provides an overview of current knowledge, allowing you to identify relevant theories, methods, and gaps in the existing research. Writing a literature review involves finding relevant publications, such as books and journal articles, critically analyzing them, and explaining what you found. A good literature review doesn't just summarize sources. It analyzes, synthesizes, and critically evaluates to give a clear picture of the state of knowledge on the subject. There are 5 key steps. 1 is search for relevant literature. 2 is evaluate sources. 3 is identify themes, debates and gaps. 4 is outline the structure. 5 is write your literature review. Types of literature reviews. A literature review is either a part of a larger work or standalone work. The larger work is either thesis or dissertation and introduction to a journal article. Standalone published works are selective or compressive. The example of selective is course assessment, while example of comprehensive is review article. In short, standalone published works are variously titled or subtitled literature review, narrative review, integrative review, or systematic literature review. Purpose of literature review. When you write a thesis, dissertation, or research paper, you will have to conduct a literature review to situate your research within existing knowledge. The literature review gives you a chance to: 1 is demonstrate your familiarity with the topic and scholarly context. 2 is develop a theoretical framework and methodology for your research. 3 is position yourself in relation to other researchers and theorists. 4 is show how your research addresses a gap or contributes to a debate. You might also have to write a literature review as a standalone assignment. In this case, the purpose is to evaluate the current state of research and demonstrate your knowledge of scholarly debates around a topic. The content will look slightly different in each case, but the process of conducting a literature review follows the same steps. Step 1: search for relevant literature. Before you begin searching for literature, you need a clearly defined topic. If you are writing the literature review section of a dissertation or research paper, you will search for literature related to your research problem and questions. If you are writing a literature review as a standalone assignment, you will have to choose a focus and develop a central question to direct your search. Unlike a dissertation research question, this question has to be answerable without collecting original data. You should be able to answer it based only on a review of existing publications. Literature review research question example: what is the macroeconomic variables on economic growth? Evidence from Asian countries. Make a list of keywords. Start by creating a list of keywords related to your research question. Include each of the key concepts or variables you're interested in, and list any synonyms and related terms. You can add to this list if you discover new keywords in the process of your literature search. Keywords examples are macroeconomic variables, economic growth, gross domestic product, GDP, determinants of economic growth. Types of macroeconomic variables are inflation, interest rates, exchange rates, wage rates, unemployment, and other numerous indexes, etc. Search for relevant sources. Use your keywords to begin searching for sources. Some useful databases to search for journals and articles include your university's library catalog, such as Google Scholar, EBSCO, JSTOR, Project Muse, Humanities and Social Sciences, Medline, Life Sciences and Biomedicine, EconLit, Economics, InSpec, Physics, Engineering and Computer Science. Read the abstract to find out whether an article is relevant to your question. When you find a useful book or article, you can check the bibliography to find other relevant sources. To identify the most important publications on your topic, take note of recurring citations. If the same authors, books or articles keep appearing in your reading, make sure to seek them out. You can use Boolean operators to help narrow down your search. One is AND, to find sources that contain more than one keyword, for example macroeconomic variables and economic growth and GDP. 2 is OR, to find sources that contain one of a range of synonyms, for example economic growth OR GDP OR macroeconomic variables. 3 is NOT, to exclude results containing certain terms, for example economic growth not fiscal policy, GDP not monetary policy. Step 2. Evaluate and select sources. You probably won't be able to read absolutely everything that has been written on the topic. You'll have to evaluate which sources are most relevant to your questions. For each publication, ask yourself, what question or problem is the author addressing? What are the key concepts and how are they defined? What are the key theories, models and methods? Does the research use established frameworks or take an innovative approach? What are the results and conclusions of the study? How does the publication relate to other literature in the field? Does it confirm, add to, or challenge established knowledge? How does the publication contribute to your understanding of the topic? What are its key insights and arguments? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the research? Step 3. Identify themes, debates and gaps. Step 4. Outline your literature review's structure. There are various approaches to organizing the body of a literature review. You should have a rough idea of your strategy before you start writing. Depending on the length of your literature review, you can combine several of these strategies. For example, your overall structure might be thematic, but each theme is discussed chronologically. Chronological. The simplest approach is to trace the development of the topic over time. However, if you choose this strategy, be careful to avoid simply listing and summarizing sources in order. Try to analyze patterns, turning points and key debates that have shaped the direction of the field. Give your interpretation of how and why certain developments occurred. Thematic. If you have found some recurring central themes, you can organize your literature review into subsections that address different aspects of the topic. For example, if you are reviewing literature about inequalities in migrant health outcomes, key themes might include healthcare policy, language barriers, cultural attitudes, legal status, and economic access. Methodological. If you draw your sources from different disciplines or fields that use a variety of research methods, you might want to compare the results and conclusions that emerge from different approaches. For e.g., look at what results have emerged in qualitative versus quantitative research. Discuss how the topic has been approached by empirical versus theoretical scholarship. Divide the literature into sociological, historical and cultural sources. Theoretical. A literature review is often the foundation for a theoretical framework. You can use it to discuss various theories, models, and definitions of key concepts. You might argue for the relevance of a specific theoretical approach, or combine various theoretical concepts to create a framework for your research. Step 5. Write your literature review. In last step you can write your literature review. Introduction. Literature review on national and global level. Literature gap. Theoretical review. Theories, if any, theoretical framework and hypothesis development. Conceptual framework. Optional. Conclusion. Summary. Table of literature review. Authors, years, methodology of articles, journals or research papers and findings in 4 columns table. Kindly subscribe my YouTube channel Thesis Helper. Thanks for watching.